All right, welcome back. All right, we got our MTB Pro for May 2016. If you're not familiar with Mystery Tackle Box, it's a subscription-based company, $15 a month, and they send you a box of tackle. Maybe stuff you've seen before, maybe stuff you've never tried before. So a great way to check out new tackle. This is the Bass Pro box, which is an upgraded version. It's a $24.90, I think, a month. Wow. Okay. And it looks like some pretty good stuff in here. So let me go grab my laptop real quick. All right. So I've got the About My Box starting last month for some of the boxes. Instead of having the normal "What's in your box" card in the box, now they've done it online. So you've got a code, so a specific number that corresponds to what you got in your box this month, and you go online and got a pretty good bit of information on there to include reviews and various other stuff. So let's see what we got. All right, first up we got the Booya Pad Crasher. So it's coming up on that time of year. Topwater season's starting to take off, so can't ever have too many frogs. So what color this thing is? Aqua Frog. So kind of a cool looking frog. You know, standard mods for a frog take these hooks and bend them out away from the body a little bit, just to increase your hookup ratio without compromising the weedlessness of the frog a little bit. And then you trim the legs off a little bit to tune how you want it to walk. So I'll probably take about an inch off those legs, trim to the length of the body. But like I said, the color's kind of interesting. White belly, so daytime type frog. And then kind of aqua and purple down the sides with a green head. And the legs are purple, brown, and white. So that is the Booya Pad Crasher. It retails for $6.19. All right, next up, we got the Dual Hardcore X Mid Crank. So if you're not familiar with the company Dual, if you've heard of Yozuri, Dual and Yozuri are the same company, Japanese company, and they make pretty good stuff. So this is a 2 3/8 inch long, 3/8 ounce, and this color is in Japanese, so I have no idea what they're calling this color. But it looks basically like a citrus shad. So blue on the top, yellow on the bottom, a little bit of orange on the belly, standard dots, kind of interesting shape. Almost got an hourglass shape to it looking that way. And then real deep in the belly. So real unique shape for this crankbait. And 2.5 meters. So it's at about an 8-foot dive depth. And that is the Dual Hardcore X Mid Crank. And it retails for $14.99. Alright, next up, got the Owner Jig Rig. These are kind of cool. I've used these before. So essentially what you've got is an extra wide gap hook with a ring on it. And then on a split ring, you've got a free swinging weight. So you'll rig your bait up, you'll tie to this middle hook, and then your weight will be on the bottom, and your bait's free to swing around. So it gives fish it kind of like a Texas rig, but it gives a lot more action to your bait. And unlike like a swinging football head or something like that, the weight's not tied to your line. So it's a lot less likely to pick up weeds. This pulls through the weeds a whole lot better. Now it'll get buried down in rocks, and you're likely to lose this setup. And I've lost several on the rocks before, but for weeds, this works a lot better than like a swinging football head. So that's the Owner Jig Rig, and it's $6 for the 2-pack. And these are 3/0 hook, 3/16 ounce weights. All right, next up we got the Whiskey River Bullhead Tube. Not a company I'm familiar with. No scent to it, really salty. In fact, you can feel the grit in the plastic itself. But it's just kind of a standard tube, really oily. And these look to be like a green pumpkin pepper. So dark green with black flake in them. This is kind of a basic tube. And the way those hooks are shaped, those Jig Rig hooks are shaped, you actually fish, that would actually work well for this tube. Otherwise, you can rig it internal weight, you can rig it on a tube jig. You can Texas rig it on a tube hook with a sliding weight. There's about 1 million different ways you can rig a tube. So as the bass are on the beds, coming off the beds, the bluegill start on the beds, you can make a tube look like just about anything. So you can make it look like a crawfish, you can make it look like a bluegill, you can make it look like any kind of forage. So really, really flexible bait and versatile bait. So the Whiskey River Bullhead tube, I think that's a 10-pack. Yep, so 10-pack for $4.97. Next up, we got the Fish Belly Hog Shad. So this is a drop shot type, kind of finesse soft plastic. Again, real oily. It's got the eyes as a separate piece. I've gotten these before and had issues with the eyes coming apart. But again, just a nice little shad shaped finesse bait. Perfect for fishing a drop shot or a light jig head, just kind of bounced along the bottom. And that is the Fish Belly Hog Shad. And this is a 5-pack for $5.69. And the last thing is the Sebile Action First Bull Crank. So if you watch my other videos, I got one of these in my regular mystery tackle box as well. But I got the smaller size. So I got the 1/4 ounce, just normal crankbait on the other one. This is a square bill. Also looks to be basically in a citrus shad color. Let's see what they call it. Spotted blue lime. So yeah, lime, citrus shad. So kind of a aqua blue on the top, fading in down through green into yellow, white belly, and there's just a nice big wide body. Good square bill. Hooks are sharp, relatively sharp. Actually, these hooks will probably get switched out. What's unique about and this one's also silent. What's unique about the Action First cranks that I didn't point out on the other video is the weighting for the crankbait, instead of being internal, is right there on the belly. So they're real good about sitting, running fairly true, and they sit nicely in the water and cast fairly well. So this particular one is a 1/2 ounce and square bill diving 4 to 7 feet. And that is the Sebile Action First Bull Crank. And that retails for $6.95. Alright, so that's all the baits in the box. So got our Dibble Digest, our Match the Hatch scratch off, which I'll take care of here in a second, and a Mystery Tackle Box Pro sticker. Let's go ahead and see if we want anything this month. Alright, so we got 2 grubs and other KVD, and a bass KVD, and a bobber. So not this month. And would have been a Hoorag bandana. So that's the Mystery Tackle Box Pro for May of 2016. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel. Check out my other unboxings, and the fishing videos should start rolling pretty good now that things are warming up. Anyway, till next time, cheers and tight lines.